Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Not Heischler, but he does live here in the Netherlands. The Netherlands Circuit Zandvoort, the home race of many drivers on the grid, including, of course, Nivo, Luke GDI, Jordi, and Curran, who is a reserve driver today. So great to see them in for this one. I've just gone for 2 laps there on the same tyre. He made a bit of a mistake on that previous lap. He now goes on to set another one, 11.0. Very, very close to Jordi, his first lap of the session. And just jumping ahead of Eager Pro. Eager Pro on his way for another lap as he's just left the pit lane to start this one. 10 minutes left on the clock at the moment. Zingy tops the times by just under half a tenth, basically. It's an AlphaTauri 1-2 at the moment. They were saying earlier on, whenever we've had a bad qualifying, we've had brilliant races. And whenever we've had good qualifyings, we've had either terrible or average races. At the moment, it's not looking good for them. But maybe they can break that curse, of course. We'll have to wait and see. Eager Pro coming through the second sector now. And unfortunately, easily lost in that corner. And that will be them making that mistake, having to take avoiding action if they need to. Although that does look like it's a very slow Red Bull behind them. So they should be good to go. Who else is on a lap? We've got Sidewinder, who I think has just come through that corner, and Curran, not used to no ABS and no traction control, so they're just getting the laps in ready for tomorrow. We'll see what they can do, of course. Tomorrow is going to be a very nice race for them. It will mark a anniversary, their first ever win in LSI F1.5 EU in the EU Championship was at the Netherlands, his home Grand Prix last season. So if he can get that done again, that would be absolutely incredible and brilliant for his championship comeback, as we are on around 9 out of 16 starting the second half of the season. So yeah, it's a very, very nice race to be at today. We're going to go on board with Zingy. 8 minutes on the clock, the current pole sitter. Let's see what can be done. On the controller, it's not exactly an easy track to have an advantage as a controller player, but you will have a bit of traction into turn 1, braking as late as you can, getting a kind of a constant apex, not really early or late, it's kind of just there all the time. Through turn 3, into 4 now on the exit. That's turn 3, this is turn 4, 5 and 6. It's just a swooping few corners. It can be very, very tricky if you're going side by side though. Into 7, fast right-hander, very, very tricky to get done. You can't touch that inside curb. Into 8, extremely quick and very, very, very difficult to take as they take it over the curb. I just wanted to say, if you do go over that curb, you are going to be gone. And unfortunately, that is going to be that lap aborted. He's going to have to try and come out again to get something in. Nifojan, the home man today, looking to try and take another win. We didn't see them in Singapore, unfortunately, so on return, can they make it 3 wins in a row? They won, of course, the main race in Imola and France, missed Singapore, and now they're back again for their home race. I've just literally said that, so I'm not going to say it again. In through turn 8. This time they get through pretty nicely. Through to turn 9 and 10. Very smooth on the throttle. You've got to trust that rear end right through here. Otherwise, you're going to be gone. Nice short shift up the route, down to the straight. DRS open into turn 11. Heavy braking zone. One of the only opportunities to overtake except from turn 1, really. There are other places that you can be creative at, but those are the main opportunities. Into the final few corners, turn 13 and 14. The lovely bank section. So unique in Formula 1. Now across the line, what's it going to be for Nifojan? And it is going to be a 10.3, 3 tenths ahead. P2 right now. We got Jordi sitting in P3, but they're not able to improve at this point. Luke goes and sits a P3 position. It's a little bit behind P2 at the moment, and a fair bit behind Nifojan in P1. Let's have a quick double check of that gap between the leader and everybody else. We've got a nice half a second gap between P1 and P5. Let's see if we can get that a little bit closer the further we go on into the session. Not too long to go now. We'll see how it goes. JJ and Dave Raptors have joined a little bit later on. They are reserve drivers. They haven't set lap times yet. They still have a chance to set lap times, but we'll see what they can do, of course. All good stuff for tomorrow. Luke in P3 at the moment. This would be a nice place to start, but Heisler has got that home crowd going, and he has put it on P2 at the moment at 10.599, just into the 0.5s there. Let's see if he can try and start on the front row of the race today. That would be awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We have had in the past the top 3 Dutch grid. Let's see. That might happen today. It might happen. We'll see. Ziggy's very, very strong, though. He is very, very strong. Not only at a circuit with traction zones like this, but he's just strong at this stage in the championship. He's been very, very good. Unfortunately, he has missed out on a couple wins. He's still been there. He's still been there. It's not like he's hidden away from us. Just a couple of mistakes now and again. And Andrews, P6 at the moment. He's going to be one to watch for the race. We know his racecraft is very, very, very good. And we know his tyre wear can be also very good. Eager Pro going very, very slowly on the track. They're continuing to go very slowly. I'm not sure if they made a mistake on the final corner and they're just going to try and stay out and go for another run. It's quite possible. We'll have to wait and see. Looks like they might just be saving up that ERS to go out one more time. Other than that, not too many people out on the circuit. They're just all kind of sat here waiting for everybody to go out when the time is right, because the longer you wait for that time to go down, you're going to be getting a nice track evolution-wise. That was a mouthful to get out, so I do apologise for that. Sidewinder making his way to the pit lane for one final time in P7 at the moment. And then we will go on board with the next car on track. Let's see what we can find from this man. At the final corner now. DRS not available just yet. You have to wait until after the banking. Would be too dangerous to do it before that. There you go, DRS available. And we'll start the lap here at Zandvoort into turn 1. Taking a slightly... I was going to say slightly wider entry, but they didn't. It was pretty standard. Very, very tidy through turn 1, turn 2, turn 3. Nice and smooth as well on the throttle. Lovely stuff. Open up the steering and aim for that exit. Not on the curb, though. And prepare yourself for turn 7. Just psych it up. Get ready. Hard right-hander. You can almost feel the downforce when you're sat there in the rig. Once again, carrying it through these corners. So high speed, so smooth, easy to lose, not even on your own, just the car sometimes can't handle the grip, but DRS is once again available. You get a moment to relax, and now into the final sector of the circuit, up by 2/10 here for Jordi. Let's see what they could do. 2/10, would it be enough to have a look at pole? No, makes a mistake, and I think that is going to be it for the McLaren. I don't think the McLaren will be able to improve. Unfortunately, heartbreak there, unless he's got one more opportunity, but he surely doesn't have the energy to deploy there. That's going to be a heck of a shot to try and go for a faster lap now. We'll see if he can get it done. He was up by 2/10 last time. Now he's got a lap worse tyre, I guess you could say. And hardly any ERS, so it's not going to be easy. We'll go through the first sector line and see what we can find from Jordi. He does have a Ferrari right behind him, so he's got to be careful. Up by half a tenth here, so doing a pretty good job. Nice and smooth. Once again, they just want to try and get one final lap in, so maybe it's time to be slightly more conservative, or are they going full send? We'll have to see later on. Riding that curve on exit all the way and going onto the grass, which is an interesting strategy. Cutting the inside of turn 11 as much as you can. Gain everything on track distance at the final few corners. Let's see what it is going to be for the final time for the McLaren across the line. They will go And it's not. They're going to lift off, and that will be that. That will be that. They will not improve. We've got many drivers out on track at the moment. That's a purple middle sector here for Zingy. He's got it. Final time in the session. P3 at the moment, looking for a P1. A little far behind at the moment. Still needs quite a big gap to find. DRS available. Can he find it? And he won't. He won't. A 10.581 is not going to be enough for pole position. It's not going to be enough for pole position. We got End Andrews. Let's see what he can do. And he starts a lap. But I believe he starts a lap. Yes, he does. He does start a lap, so he's not going to be going for it just yet. We've got a couple more cars crossing the line. Heichler, I think, has recently started a lap. We got Luke going for a purple first sector so far. Let's see what they can do. Home Grand Prix as well in the Mercedes. Had really bad luck in the last race, unfortunately making a mistake under the safety car conditions. Hopefully they can scrub off the bad momentum and get it back. Let's see. Come on. Let's see what they can do. Sitting in P4 at the moment, needs quite a big gap to the cars ahead if he wants pole position. Can he at least have a go at the front row? Still needs about 2/10 to challenge. Is it going to be possible here for Luke? And it will be. It will be. Oh, he was getting closer to Nifojan at 10.3 on the board. Lovely, lovely job from him right there. Let's see what we can find from End Andrews as he comes out the final corner, trying his best across the line. And that's going to be a P5 in the end. He won't improve. A 10.633 Heischer as he got a lap going at the moment. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. That is not going to be another lap from him. We got PJ currently in P8, but they're going into the pit lane after a little bit of damage. That looks like qualifying is over. We will have Nifojan on pole position once again. Luke in P2 and Zingy making an AlphaTauri top 3. Double AlphaTauri top 3. But Luke splitting them up. Now, let's see. A Dutch front row. What can we find here? And who's got the setup sorted for the race? That is the question. There's two ways you can go about this. You can go low downforce and try and stay in front if you can get a good start. High downforce and just try and run away with it, but be possibly threatened on the straights. And strategy as well. You're going to go aggressive at the beginning with softer tyres or not. We'll have to wait and see. I cannot wait. Time will tell. And there we go. Nifojan takes pole position. Luke in P2, then Zingy in P3. That's the rest of the grid. We're not going to see the race director. We'll see in a bit. Ready, hold, go! Who's gonna get it into turn one? Nifo starts the race eventually and gets away pretty well into the lead. Ziggy now gonna challenge. There's a car from the background. Luke holds the inside line. Is he gonna be able to keep the momentum on exit? It looks like it, but now Ziggy to the inside momentarily is not gonna be enough. End Andrews is out of this race. Contact in the background. I don't know who that was. That seemed like Heichler was involved. And that's going to be a safety car out Unfortunately, a DNF right in the beginning there. That is not what we want to see, but it's what's happened, and End Andrews' campaign is over in a flash. One Mercedes left, and a pit stop is possibly on the horizon, but I don't see why there would be too much reason to do so. We're going to look at the pit stops at the moment. You're already going for that aggressive strategy, so is PJ Cohen and Dave Raptors. Looked like End Andrews was also going for the same kind of style, which would have been nice to see, but unfortunately, that didn't go to plan. That didn't go to plan. It's cruel, but that's how it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, we can't do too much about it now. We'll have to look at it on the replay later on. But that is our last race winner out of this one already. And Andrews winning, of course, 2 races this season. So, having great success. But now it's not going to be too easy because they're not in the race. So, yeah, heartbreak for End Andrews there. Would have been really nice to see him complete this one, but it's not going to happen. Dave Raptors into the pit lane. Does he have damage? Was he involved in anything here? I'm not quite sure. We'll have a quick look to see if he gets a front wing change. He does. Very, very minor damage right there. Hige, of course, having to take that new front wing as well. So they're going for a different tyre. Dave Raptors could go, maybe, to the end on the hard tyre. I don't know if you would be able to carry it that far. Hige, he's going to have to try and do something a little bit different. The good thing is, he can now go for a double medium, and he's going to be right at the back of the pack. So Hige can still benefit from this. Trap position, of course, he has lost. You never want to be crashing out of a race. But still, he can go for a double medium, whereas others will have to go for, well, Yordi's going to have to go for hards later on. Medium tyre, other people are going to have to go for anyway, so he'll be on an even playing field for part of the grid. Dave Raptors might not need to pit. We'll have to see what happens later on, because I don't know how the tyre wear is going to be. We've had quite a few races this season where people have ended up getting punctures. Could that happen again today? It's very, very possible. We have seen it in the Netherlands in the past. Last game, actually, Zingy, he had a puncture, unfortunately. So it's not uncommon around this circuit with such high-speed corners, with the banking as well, which puts so much pressure on those tyres. Now, we're not going to be racing just yet because we've got a little bit more of a gap before we can go. But we will be racing on lap 4 of the 36. No DRS will be available just yet. I see how... I see. And Andrews, that is such a shame. Such a shame. It would have been nice to see your strategy. But it's over. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Let's see what we can get out of this one. Nifo-Jan leads the way. Luke in P2. That's Nifo and Zingy split the two teammates. Obviously, Nifo wants to try and beat his teammate to try and close the gap a little bit. But he doesn't want another team, another constructor, to win this race. So it's going to be interesting to see how this is played out. Yordi's right there, raring to go. Didn't really have too much of a chance to gain too much off the line, as we had a pretty immediate safety car deployed. So he's going to be definitely one to watch. And that's where the safety car restart will be crucial. We will be going racing at the end of this lap. Nifo leads the way, and Luke is the one to react. Alrighty. Yeah, it's true. It's a shame. Nifo-Jan, when will he go? The safety car not in the pit lane just yet. Still got a little bit more time. The safety car comes round the final corner and into the pit lane. It will go just about now. Nifo, he can go for it at any point. Still warming up the tyres. Now he's gone for it. He's gone for it. Luke squirming off the line. And that's a brilliant, brilliant restart for Nifojan. Zingy's going to be right there. Is he going to try and pressurize for a move into the first corner? Looks like he might have a quick look. He will. He's going to send it to the inside line. Forces Luke to go for the switchback. But Geordie has tried to get in on it. It's not worked out. And Luke has gone from P2 to P11 in one corner. I do not believe it. Zingy made the move. He had nothing wrong in that incident. Sidewinder manages to get into P3 after that one. JJ getting a pretty solid restart. PJ, he's the lead medium tyre runner in P5. Eager Pro right behind him. He can't seem to do anything about it now. That is PJ going to be pretty pacey in that car. He does need to make sure that he utilizes that earlier than later, of course, otherwise he's going to be in big trouble. We got Yordi making that move on Cohen as he tries to recover after that little mistake. Unfortunately, Luke has got a bit of a gap to the cars behind, but he's still in this race. It's not over yet. He can still get something done. Lap 4 to 36. It's a long, long race, and it's very difficult on the strategy. So time will tell how that goes, of course. Here we go. Yordi looking pretty quick despite DRS not being available just yet. Holding that ERS button down. On the bank section, looks like Hyde's just getting pretty close to the car ahead. He wants to have a go on that medium tyre. Is he going to be able to make it stick? Dave Raptor's trying to hold it slightly to the outside line. It's not going to be possible. Here comes the McLaren, now to the inside line. He's going to have to give it up. Oh, that's a little bit of contact. Got to be careful with that one. We'll have to see how that goes later on. And that is a mistake there for Cohen as he just goes a little bit too aggressive on the throttle. Nifo leads the way by 4/10. The two AlphaTauris running away with it a little bit at the moment. Sidewinder not quite in DRS range. PJ right there as well. He made that move on JJ, so that's perfect what he needs to do. He needs to now get in that DRS range of Sidewinder and try and have a go at something if possible. Eager Pro right behind JJ. Yordi making that move on Heisler. Not yet. Heisler's still on the inside line. Are they going to try and send it back? It looks like they will. They will give it a shot. Forces Yordi very, very deep. Can they secure a better exit? No, they will not. That is Yordi gonna make that move. He's now into P7, slowly recovering those positions and trying his best to catch up to the leaders while he can on this medium tyre. It's not gonna be easy for him, especially on this strategy. He might need to pray for a bit of a safety car right here. Curran makes another mistake, and that is going to be a safety car. It is going to be a safety car on lap 6 out of 36. I'd say it's still too early. But if you are on that medium tyre, you might genuinely have a chance at staying or going into the pit lane and going onto a fresh hard tyre. You're going to be really slow later on, but it might be an idea. It might be an idea. I'm interested to see what PJ does, because he could be someone to watch. Would Heish maybe want to do the same? He started on that hard tyre. They're pretty clean. They're not massively worn tyres. I don't think he would really want to, because he's just going to be on a one-stop already, so it's probably not worth it. PJ will be the lead medium tyre runner to react to. He's going to be the one to watch. Alrighty. Lap 6 out of 36. Nifo leads the way. I'm not going to watch on board because I doubt they will be going to the pit lane. It's very, very unlikely one of the AlphaTauris might, but I highly doubt it. They won't go into the pit lane. PJ gonna stay out. He's not going into the pit lane. We will have somebody who's diving in, and that is going to be Luke, taking a little bit of a different strategy. I think this is a good idea. This is a very good idea. He's going to be on that one-stop medium tyre, or he could maybe pit again if he can create enough of a gap. But I think by the time, or I was going to say by the time we get to the end of this lap, we'll be going racing anyway, but we won't, because we need at least one lap with the safety car going round. So he could go for a set of hard tyres and try and get an advantage, because he's going to be right with the pack. If he can just keep it clean, then he might have a chance to get a nice gap when the other guys have to pit. Or he's just going to do what Hydra's doing at the moment try and have a bit of a pace advantage, and then be on the same tyre as the other guys a little bit later on. Maybe he might have a chance at going for a overcut. No, an undercut, sorry. Overcut might be possible. We never know. Lap 7 out of 36. We'll be racing on about lap 9 out of 36 regardless. It just depends if anybody's going to go into the pit lane. The safety car is immediately coming in. Okay, that's interesting. I thought it had to go at least one time, but no. Zingy this time will react to Nifojan once again. Restarting. We know Zingy is very, very good in the safety car restarts. He's getting ready to react to Nifo already. He's not really warming up his tyres too much. Starts to warm him up a bit now. Safety car is on its way to the pit lane roundabout now. Nifojan can go from any point onwards. Here we go. When will he go for it? He goes for it now, and a brilliant, brilliant start. That's a nice little gap that he's got. That's JJ making a mistake on the safety car restart, unfortunately. And that's Eager Pro. Oh, big, big problems for Eager Pro. Big problems for other cars on the grid as well. Yordi has to back out of the other cars behind as he's going 3 wide into the first corner. Luke manages to gain a lot out of that one. 2 positions into 3 positions, in fact, and he's pretty pacey on those very, very fresh tyres. Looks like he's almost on the opening lap of the race. That's JJ going to make a mistake, and he's going to make another move immediately. He looked like he wanted to have a go on JJ, but it wasn't possible. He is going to now go to the inside line, says Yordi, and take that move on the Ferrari. He wants to try and get that momentum back as he lost quite a bit there. Back to 7th place he goes, but he could have got a little bit more than that. It was an interesting one. The restart didn't go quite to plan. That is Luke once again getting a phenomenal exit on these tyres. Now having a look on the inside of Dave Raptors. Dave Raptors going to give this one up. Very different strategies. Not going to be worth it. Now Luke is on fresher tyres compared to PJ, and he's going to try his best to catch up to that Alpine and make a move. Maybe he can get close to where he started this race already. We'll have to wait and see. Sidewinder once again. There, he's always there, doing a great job. Let's see, he actually got a really nice podium. It might have been a P2, I think it might be P3, so still, P3 in Singapore, really keeping up the good momentum. Luke in the DRS already, so he'll be ready for when that is deployed. Heisler goes into the pit lane. Looks like Eager Pro wasn't too badly affected by any kind of incident earlier on. Yordi, 9/10 away from Luke, so they're not too close at the moment. They do need to try and keep that momentum up, but Luke is on some pretty fresh tyres, so he's going to be not too easy to beat at this stage. I want to have a quick look at Eager Pro. He's not got any damage, so managed to avoid something earlier on, but I mean, fair enough to him. It didn't look too easy, but he's done it. Luke sitting in P5, slowly catching up to PJ. PJ not in DRS range of the cars ahead. Sidewinder just missing out on the range possibly. Is DRS available this lap, or it will be next lap? It might be next lap, so I think we might have to wait a little bit longer. But nevertheless, Luke is very, very close to the back of that Alpine. Would he want to have a go at a move into turn 1 already? Nifojan goes for a fastest lap as the AlphaTauris continue to run away with this one at the moment. And Sidewinder, although he's not in DRS range, wasn't affected by any DRS just yet. DRS will be available on the next lap, however. Luke is closer than ever, and he wants to have a look at a move very, very soon. Yordi now gets that to 8/10, so he does catch a little bit. He doesn't have any ERS, though, so he's going to be a sitting duck on the straights. You've got Dave Raptors behind him, but they are a little bit of a distance away. JJ sitting in P8 right behind him to keep the pressure on. Those two guys are going to be racing tomorrow, so they're going to be trying to get a bit of race practice in, of course. Some tyre data, setup data, see how everything feels, ready for tomorrow. Yordi, Luke, PJ, all on that medium tyre. Luke, significantly fresher tyres. Gets the DRS to help him set up a move on the back straight, and now he will have a very nice opportunity at making an overtaker down the main straight, but Sidewinder makes a mistake, and that's now going to gift DRS to PJ. It doesn't matter though, because Luke gets a phenomenal exit, having to use a little bit of energy to get somewhat alongside into the first corner. That's PJ going to go very wide and just give that position up, lose minimal time. He's in a good position at the moment. He's not got too much energy in his car to deploy. So yeah, a phenomenal position at the moment for him. He's just trying to secure it. And that's not a bad idea. 2 seconds is now the gap for Sidewinder and the cars ahead. So check how that changes. He did make a mistake. Let's see how it changes and see how powerful a DRS train is. Currently the situation looking like Jordi wants to have a go on PJ, and once again another issue like they had in Singapore. The overtake was risky and it didn't pay off, and that is going to be, I think, damage to Jordi's car and more heartbreak. Lap 11 out of 36. He's going to have a bit of a strategy change. He's on that medium tyre. He can still go for a set of hard tyres and go to the end of this race, but he's letting a couple of cars go through, and I think he wants to try and let PJ go through as well. That is a heck of a shame. A heck of a shame. That's Luke going for the move on Sidewinder, as he now has a very, very clean move. No pressure behind to make that move work, so he could risk anything he really wanted. Sidewinder not willing to fight too much, as he knows what is at stake at the moment, and he knows that Luke is on a different strategy. 2.4 seconds in the more technical sections of this circuit. He'll be able to catch up to the cars ahead very, very, very quickly. But Nifojan and Zingy have the advantage of a bit of a DRS train. Is that going to be powerful enough to escape? Or will Luke be able to get him on raw pace? He's going to be on that medium tyre, so they have no escape if he does get into that DRS range. Jordi does go for that hard tyre, so he's still in this race. He's going to be going to the end, so we'll see how it goes later on. Still on for some points here. Is it going to be a P5, possibly, if he can get a significant undercut? It's just whether the other guys can come back later on with their medium tyres. Time will tell how that plays out, of course, a little bit later on. And Dave Raptors, we don't know. He might be going for a one-stop. I'm not sure if he's going to be pitting again or not. Luke doesn't catch any time overall on that lap. That's a 2.6 second gap now. It's proving that currently the AlphaTauris are dominating this race, like we've seen in the past, but can they keep the focus and maintain this pace, or are they going to have issues a little bit later on? We saw in Mexico it got a little bit heated between these two as it got to deciding who's going to pit and when they're going to pit. So are they going to be a little bit more civilized this time and select pit stop windows beforehand? Or are they going to still try and race each other hard? They are rivals in the championship. They do want to beat each other, but they are also teammates with a significant gap to the cars behind, and they can secure this win pretty nicely. What is going to happen between these two guys? Are we going to see some overtakes? Nifo not exactly keeping it to the outside line, as he does try to break the toe a little bit to the car behind, so you can see his intentions are to go racing slightly, but I don't think we're going to see it until the next, 2 to 3 laps. That maybe will spike a possible opportunity of racing between those guys, because we'll need pit stops. We will need pit stops. Eichler making that mistake, unfortunately. Jordi makes a mistake himself and loses out big time. We're going to look at P6 with JJ, as he's pretty close to the back of Dave Raptors. Not able to make any moves recently. 1 lap older tyre, JJ. Dave Raptors has that advantage. So is it going to be enough? I don't think it would be, but he does have the advantage of not needing to pit. Well, the tyres need to pit, that's the question. But by regulation, Dave Raptors can stay out for as long as he wants. 6 tenths, 7 tenths between the top two. I think you need it to be about 5 tenths if you want to go for an overtake. That's from past data. If I remember correctly, 6 tenths won't be enough to challenge for anything. So that 5 tenth gap will trigger a possible battle between these guys. Here we go. JJ is going to have a possible look at Dave Raptors. No, they're going to sit behind and wait. PJ right behind these guys. He's on that medium tyre. He's close, but he's going to have to pit at some point soon. And by the time he catches to these guys, I don't think he's going to be able to really challenge too much. Maybe, in that respect, JJ's just holding on and he's not going to risk anything. It might be a viable strategy. For a championship, securing those points is crucial. They're not in the championship. They are reserve drivers, so if they fought, it wouldn't be too much of a big deal, and it would probably be quite nice to understand how the car copes in racing conditions, but also at the same time, these guys don't need to risk getting any penalties in a different tier race. It's just not worth it. PJ looking very, very quick, and he's catching up nicely. Is he going to be looking to try and go for a move, though? That is the question. Would he want to push for it? Despite having those old medium tyres, he still has a nice pace advantage. DRS available. He's going to be in that train. He's not going to be able to make a move. This is his first time of being in that DRS train on the start-finish straight. So he's going to have to use this lap to set up a move and maybe go for a move on the final lap. Or stay in this DRS train for a little bit longer and try and let these tyres go a little bit longer. Remember, he is going to have to go for that hard tyre. So he's going to be on a slightly slower tyre. And the longer he can extend these medium tyres, which are generally faster than the hard tyre, the better. Old, warm, hard tyres are faster than cold, hard tyres. So if you do spend longer on that medium tyre, it's definitely a possible strategy. That is Dave Raptors making a mistake, and JJ going to have a look. Is PJ going to try and get in on this? He might want to go for something on the exit. Dave Raptors going to have to give the position up. JJ went very, very deep. Here we go. PJ going to have a look to the inside line. They're going to back out. Dave Raptors wasn't willing to give it up. That might compromise PJ's run. He backed out pretty late. Had to lift and lose a lot of momentum. Dave Raptors coming back at him. Look at the straight line speed in that car. He's going to secure that move. JJ had a slight look, but he didn't have the braking power to come back at that one. That is a brilliant effort. But PJ in the background, unfortunately, making a mistake while watching the two battle ahead. He's going to lose out to Eager Pro, and it might be time to make a pit stop on the next lap. We'll have to wait and see. And of course, the top two will be the ones to trigger it, so we'll watch on board with these guys now. Is Zingy going to try and have a look at making a possible move anytime soon? We'll have to see. Jordi going pretty quickly on those hard tyres. After that spin, he seems to find the momentum, and he's going to be going to the end of the race as best as he possibly can, and just trying to secure anything if possible. DRS is available. ERS is available as well for Zingy, but he'd have to use a lot of it to be able to make an overtake on Nifo. Nifo, that DRS is pretty, I was going to say powerful. It seems to be an advantage to Zingy, so he might have to look at defending Nifojan, but they're staying out a little bit longer. On a set of hard tyres, you probably want to go to about lap 20. More or less, maybe a little bit longer. These guys, of course, will have to stagger their pit stops. Who's going to go for the undercut, which is more ideal, especially around this circuit, and of course, as they are on that hard tyre, the longer you spend on that medium tyre, the better. PJ into the pit lane. He does follow the advice that his tyres gave him not too long ago. He's going to be on edge with Heisler, who's going to be right behind him on warm tyres. Is he going to try and go for a move on the exit here? We'll have to see. He will have the advantage. He'll have all the confidence in the world and the medium tyre compared to the hard tyre. 9 laps on that medium tyre, and PJ still powering through. He's not going to give in. He'll take an inside line, which is going to compromise him big time, and that's Hyde's going to surely be able to make the move stick. A switchback possible, but PJ reacts as he realizes it's not on. It's not on. Very, very, very good job there from Heisler, and a very good job for PJ to react. In the meantime, Jordi's been catching up to this battle, and he's going to want some of it. Talking about catching up to the battle, Eager Pro is now with JJ and Dave Raptors. Pit stops are on the horizon, so they might not be able to get past unless the top two, or the two ahead, make mistakes. Then maybe you'll have a look. Nifojan and Zingy leading the way. They are the guys who will be triggering the other hard tyre runners to make a pit stop. Luke not losing massively. He's still there. He's going to only get slower on that medium tyre, although they haven't really hit their major cliff yet. Probably hitting it around about now. The hard tyres are pretty old though. No one going into the pit lane just yet. They know Luke's going to be right there, and he's going to be on that medium tyre. Luke, when will he pit? He's going for the undercut. I was just going to say, will he go for the undercut or the uppercut? He's going for that undercut. He's going to be on the same tyre as the other guys. This could be a very interesting moment. And he's going to be a fair way behind the battle ahead. And that's going to be good for him because, of course, he'll be able to warm up those tyres in clean air, catch up a little bit. Will these guys battle hard? They won't, and that's JJ in the wall. JJ in the wall, gonna let Luke go. That is a virtual safety car, and unless it ends now, that's heartbreak for Luke. Heartbreak for Luke. He might even lose the position here to Sidewinder. But the top two, they will have to pit on the same lap. Nifojan and Zingy will be pitting on the same lap. There's enough of a gap behind for Zingy to safely create a gap to Nifo. You can see what he's doing. That gap needs to be about 6 seconds to perform a perfect double stack. No more, no less. Otherwise, it's going to be out of sequence. Zingy not really backing off too much, though. He's going to carry on as the virtual safety car is now redeployed. Nifojan going to gain maybe a little bit of time from that entry, but not too much time because they were at mercy from that delta. So in the end, Luke isn't going to lose out that much, but he's also not going to gain that much either. Sidewinder not going to pit. They're going to follow Zingy. No dirty air will be given to Nifojan from them, but it might be given from Dave Raptors, who's going to be exiting the pit lane alongside. Are they going to swoop it around the outside? They will have a look, and they're going to possibly make the move on exit. Will Nifo be wise? He has the better tyre, but it's just too cold. Dave Raptors is going to lead here, lead the battle, and Nifojan is going to be furious. They're going to lose out big time to their teammate Zingy. Zingy, he might even consider going a lap longer on these tyres. Maybe, we'll have to see. Luke's going to catch up valuable time to this as well. Nifo, he has to make this move very, very quickly and strategically. Otherwise, he's going to be in big, big trouble. DRS available, uses a bit of ERS, but he isn't going to try and go for the move. I think if he used that battery, he probably would have had a pretty easy overtaking opportunity, but he is going to just wait for that DRS straight and go for the slingshot. Now, Zingy into the pit lane. We're going to watch on board with Nifo and see where he comes out. These two have been side by side on this straight before. It's not for the final lap though. Nifojan is going to take that lead, and he will get ahead of Dave Raptors, but where is Zingy? He's miles in front. Absolutely miles in front. That was terrible, terrible, terrible for Nifojan. So unfortunate for him to be in that traffic. Dave Raptors managed to make it work. Now, Nifo going to be on those warm tyres. 1 lap older mine, but still, warmer tyres. He's going to have the DRS. He had pretty good pace before. He does want to have a look at Zingy because he knows how important it will be for him to just try and control that pace? Or is this a blessing in disguise? Will he want to try and stay behind his teammate and just sit there? It's not gonna work. He'll get the DRS to try and catch up, but he loses the car. This is an opportunity for Zingy to break away on the DRS and possibly look at securing this win. Nipo doing everything he can to catch back up. Zingy using the ERS to try and escape. Was it enough? That is the question. Look at the DRS flap behind. He just about secures it, and that is a relief for Nipo-chan. Take a deep breath. Incredible stuff there. Very, very crucial. Now, Nipo-chan, what I wanted to say, is this a blessing in disguise? He's lost the position. He now has DRS though. The question is, does Zingy have enough pace here to run away outright, despite DRS being available for Nipo-chan? Dave Raptor's going to carry on. He knows that he can go a little bit longer on these tyres. Might even consider a soft tyre. I personally wouldn't recommend it, of course, because it's the Netherlands and the tyres do get very, very hot. He's only going to get slower, but he can still try and secure some points. The question also is it worth actually staying out any longer or not? I don't know. Eager Pro, pretty much in no man's land at the moment. Not got too much pressure from behind, not got too much pressure ahead. Of course, Luke is pretty far ahead. Also, Yordi on that hard tyre. He is behind, but he's not on the advantage tyre. Sidewinder into the pit lane. He's been waiting very, very long to go into the pit lane. Just trying to do something a little bit different to these guys. He is going to be fairly far behind, and Luke's going to gain that position back, but look at that advantage that he has over Luke tyre-wise. 4 laps, pretty much 5 it will be, on Luke, and an advantage, a slight advantage on the other cars. That is going to be pretty nice. We're not going to likely see any punctures. Sorry to disappoint those people who really wanted to see a puncture, but it's not going to be very likely. But, you know, Sidewinder will be covered. Dave Raptors also will be covered, but he's got a bit of pressure as Eager Pro. Not going to look just yet, but they're pacey. They have warm tyres. They have ERS. They seem to have pretty good straight line speed as well. So it's going to be a crucial moment here for Dave Raptors to stay ahead and maintain this position. Otherwise, if if Eager Pro gets ahead, he'll be in big trouble because it's not going to be too easy to overtake again. DRS available. That is a nice advantage that he has into the braking zone, more or less equal. Dave Raptors is going to be right there. There's slight contact, a bit of a correction here for the Alpine. He's going to have to give the position up, unfortunately, but he will get a DRS, and he's going to have an opportunity to regain that position immediately. I'm sure he's going to want to have a go after that little bit of contact. Eager Pro goes to the inside line. Dave Raptors takes it to the outside, and he will get that position back in the end. Eager Pro is going to have a second look at making this move. Almost made a mistake on the inside curb there, which could have ended it all, but he still manages to stay there. That's a yellow. That is Luke, unfortunately, making a mistake, and that is a front wing gone. Heartbreak even more for the Mercedes team. Sidewinder is going to pick up a position right there. That is not what we want to see here for Luke. That Sidewinder making the move already. Luke's going to have to take it to the pit lane and look at something a little bit different. It's not like he's got fresh medium tyres left. Would he want to consider just trying to go to that medium tyre, even if they're not going to last? Just secure any points he can? I don't know. It's going to be very difficult. These two are going to catch up and make an extra position as well. Even though they're fighting, they will be able to catch up nicely. The question is for these guys, will Dave Raptors and Eager Pro fight hard enough for Yordi to catch up? I don't know. I don't know if that will be possible or not. Eager Pro's going to make that move. As he sees he's going to gain an extra one. Can he get the double overtake onto the straight? In theory, he's got the run. He's still on the outside line. Dave Raptors has to give the space. Eager Pro to the inside line. Dave Raptors still holding it to the outside line. On the traction, That is Dave Raptors having the advantage. He takes that wider line, gets the traction down a lot easier. Eager Pro trying his best to find everything, but no. The ERS has now been depleted as he does give everything, but it's not going to work just yet. It's not going to work. Nifo and Zingy closer than ever. That's going to be something to watch a little bit later on. That is Heisler and Luke switching positions as Luke exits the pit lane. He's gone onto that hard tyre. I don't know if he's going to want to pit again. I don't think there is any reason to do so. He's just going to hope that some cars ahead either have a pace disadvantage or make mistakes and see what he can try and gain. In theory, Hydra's tyres are only going to get slower compared to Luke, so he might be able to gain some sort of position later on in this race. Eager Pro holding into that toe. Dave Raptors going very, very defensive. Doesn't need to really go too defensive because the ERS is just not there for Eager Pro, but Dave Raptors still left a little bit of space. Eager Pro thought wiser of it, didn't want to challenge too much. They do have to worry about Jordi. His tyres aren't really going to be too much of a threat to them, but they still need to make sure they don't let him in the DRS range, because otherwise that will harm them significantly. Big mistake there for Dave Raptors. A nice advantage for Eager Pro, but not at the right place of the circuit to make a move. We'll have to wait behind a little bit longer. That is a bit of a moment, a psychological advantage to Eager Pro as Dave Raptors goes and makes another mistake. The domino effect is very, very real. Got to be careful how that goes. The top two very, very close to one another, actually closer than they ever have been before. Nifojan seems to have the pace advantage. Can they time this right? They've done it on multiple occasions, timing that overtake right to get that win. It would be their home Grand Prix, one of the races that they really, really, really want to win. Zingy, he has the, I would say, advantage at the moment, but Nifo seems strong. Eager Pro looking for the move into turn 3. And he has the advantage on exit this time. Looks like he was about to close the door, but no, Dave Raptors right there. ERS is not available for either driver. It's a drag race to turn 7. Dave Raptors is going to take the advantage. Is a switchback on for Eager Pro. Almost looked like it, but no, it will not be there. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer, but what I feared for these two, and what is a brilliant, brilliant moment for Jordi, is DRS now being available for the McLaren. Look at that, DRS available. He's going to be on the hunt. That is a very, very, very sketchy moment as these guys continue to race pretty hard. But now Jordi, you see, he's aggressive on that throttle, really trying his best to get that momentum. It's not going to work out though. He's going to have to wait a little bit longer. No ERS driver drive. It's just pure DRS and slipstream. Has the advantage to the outside line. Who's going to get it this time? Or are they going to continue to be just side by side, deadlocked with one another? Looks like Eager Pro has the advantage, but he's still onto the inside. Still has the right to be there. No, he's going to lose the car. He's going to lose the car. Dave Raptors, unfortunately, going to end the battle prematurely. And that is such a shame. Jordi now is going to be right here to put the pressure on Eager Pro. They got to be careful how they play this. ERS is very, very precious, and it's hard to regain at this circuit. No ERS for Jordi either. So Eager Pro needs to try and recognize he has an advantage here, and he can still hold on, but he needs to play it very, very, very safely. Jordi's tyres aren't going to exactly die off according to hard tyre standards. They will start to get a little bit older later on, but they're really going to be at a pace disadvantage to those medium tyres. So if he can hold on, that is absolutely incredible for him. Going to be right there. DRS will be available. Does he have the setup advantage to challenge that Aston Martin in the straight line? No, he does not. He's going to be in a phenomenal position to hold on. It's going to be potentially very frustrating for Jordi to be able to make an overtake on that straight line, as neither driver has any ERS. He's actually using the ERS to try and get some sort of advantage, but that is Luke going to take it to the pit lane and retire from this race. He's not going to score any points. He's just going to end that one very, very early. A heck of a shame. Such a good qualifying, but terrible luck in the race once again. And there's not really much I can say. Words won't be enough, but I really do feel for him. Genuinely, I really do. Top two closer than ever. Once again, Nifo-Jan is right there. He's waiting like a ticking time bomb to go for some sort of move. However, Zingy does have that tyre wear advantage. Although, what we've seen from previous races, Zingy does seem to wear those tyres pretty quickly. Nifo-Jan, very, very smooth on those tyres. He gets pretty little tyre wear compared to most drivers on the grid, which is always a nice advantage to have. That controller definitely has something to do with that tyre wear. Traction-wise, though, you do get a bit of an advantage, so I don't know. Would you consider that to be cancelling out? Maybe. It will be up to you to decide. Nifo-Jan is going to be right there. The psychological game is real. Zingy, though, very, very immune to a psychological game. It will be what it is. A mistake for Zingy. That was lag. That was big, big, big lag. Very, very, very good reaction times there for Nifo-Jan to be able to defend from that moment of madness. Just about staying ahead will be Zingy as he tries everything he can. At the moment, that doesn't look like it's anyone's fault. Just a scary, scary moment there for both drivers. That could have gone horribly wrong. We're going to go back to Jordi and EagerPro as Jordi is now closer than ever, looking at a move. He's getting a run. Will he go to the inside or outside line? Goes to the inside line, still tries to hold it. Goes a little bit wide and makes contact with the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin keeps it around the outside in the corners. He has every advantage on that tyre, and he will be able to stay ahead. Very, very good job. Very good effort here from Jordi, but a very good job to defend from EagerPro there. Kept him nice and tight. Limited his ability to open up that steering on the exit, which gave him that traction advantage. That is unfortunately a Red Bull round, and that does look like Sidewinder. Sidewinder makes a mistake. A heck of a shame, but he's still in a very comfortable podium position, although EagerPro isn't too far away. Jordi's got to be careful how he goes about this, otherwise he could be in trouble. DRS will be available once again for him though, and he does look like he wants to go for that move. He's on that more disadvantaged tyre, but we've not got too long to go in this race, and now he has that ERS to play with. He knows what's at stake and he knows what is possible. Going to the outside line, forcing Igor to that inside line. Makes contact on the exit though as he tries to get the run. It's not going to work, and he's going to have to give it in. The traction was lost for EagerPro after that contact, but also the momentum was lost for Jordi, so that kind of cancelled out a little bit. He's just got to be careful. I know it's getting to the final few laps of this race, but he's got to take it easy. Got to take it easy. Very, very close to EagerPro, and he's losing the car on the rear, trying to push everything he possibly can with these tyres. We're getting really on with these tyres, taking it to lap 22 with Sidewinder and Dave Raptors, so they haven't got too long left in them. And we get to those final laps of the race, it's going to be virtually impossible for him to have an advantage, so he does need to try and get ahead within the next lap, this lap pretty much. DRS is available once again, no ERS for either driver, so it's going to be pure slipstream once again to the outside line. This time he's going to try and hold it round the outside. Looks like he's going to have the advantage, and EagerPro is going to have to yield as he makes a mistake. Phenomenal overtake for Jordi there. Finally gets it done. 2.8 seconds to the car ahead. I don't think he's going to be able to catch in time, especially with the tyre situation, but that is a brilliant, brilliant move there for Jordi. There's a lot of pace in that car. A lot of pace. Look at those tyres. Extremely old. Now, the question is, between the top two, who will be going for a move? And he will go for the move to the outside line. Zingy really, really holds it tight. He doesn't want Nifo to have any opportunity on the inside. He knows what he's going to do. He's done it before here in the Netherlands. Holding that inside line is a significant advantage. Taking a wide line on the straight here to get a little bit of a pace advantage as you go up the hill. He knows what he has to do, and he's doing a very good job of it so far. Very, very good defending skills from Zingy, trying to take very different lines to get the advantage over his teammate. DRS isn't easy. ERS isn't easy either. Lap 35 out of 36 at the moment. We've got one final lap to do some kind of switch up. If anything, Nifojan, will he be able to take a third win in a row, according to when he's started the race, of course, or is Zingy going to be able to break that curse of a very dry spell and look at another win this season? History awaits us. DRS available. Everything left on the battery is available. Once again, Nifojan to the outside line. This time he's trying to hold it. He will hold it. Zingy has to give the space to his teammate. Now to the outside line. Looks like he's got the advantage. Zingy trying to take that wide line. Is it going to work? Makes a mistake. On the exit does Nifo. Zingy is going to be ahead just about. Would he want to go for a move on the inside to turn 7? Takes a look, thinks about it, not going to be able to get anything done. Once again, a very nice run into turn 8. Doesn't have the momentum. It's his teammate after all. Is he really going to send it on him like that? It is his rival you've got to consider though. DRS available for one final time, but it's not going to be possible to make a move on this. It's not going to be possible. He will catch up a little bit. He might have one final look. Zingy made a mistake on the penultimate corner last lap, but no! It's not going to work! Nifo has lost it. Zingy is going to come round the final few corners. He's going to take it away from his Dutch teammate, and he's going to win the Netherlands Grand Prix. Phenomenal. Phenomenal driving there. Zingy, very well deserved in the end. Nifo will hold that P2, and Egapro gets ahead of Jordi on the last lap. Jordi's made a mistake. Sidewinder has made a mistake. Egapro will take a podium at the Dutch Grand Prix. How about that? Jordi, he's just lost out here, but Sidewinder, what happened to him? What happened to him? Looking like a very, very, very nice P3, but it's not going to work. The Aston gets the podium there in the end. Incredible. Jordi is going to finish in P4. That's going to be Dave Raptor's PJ in P6. Sidewinder will take points in the end, and then Heisler into P8. Once again scoring points. But for Red Bull, that's not what they want. JJ will finish this race in P9. But this guy is the one to watch. Absolutely incredible. The delivery man delivers again. The man in the purple helmet. The purple burglar. Well done indeed. And that's been it. That has been it. Jordi gets driver of the day in the end. But Zingy wins. Zingy is taking another win this season. AlphaTauri, very strong. Very, very strong. Alrighty, waiting for those results and then we'll be good to go for the post-race interviews. Come on, let's have a look. Please give it to us. Otherwise we'll miss the race director. Zingy takes the win, Napajan in P2, Eager Pro takes the last spot on the podium. Yordi, Dave Raptors, PJ Subwinder, Heisler and JJ finishing off the order. Luke DNS followed by Cohen and Andrews earlier on. We'll skim through the race director just in case and try and get it as quick as we can because we missed out last time around. Very tricky to get track limits at this circuit, so not too much to go through. We will see you in a bit for the post-race interviews. Hello everyone and welcome back to the post-race interviews. We're here for the Netherlands Grand Prix. Completely muddled that one up, I do apologise. We're going to start the interviews with Hijs. Pretty much from the beginning it didn't go quite to plan. Lots of safety cars, but unfortunately those didn't quite do enough to get you into it later on. The strategy was tough as well. Can you take us through it?
Not much to take through it, to be honest. Someone didn't know that the exit curb of turn 1 you can't go on the second part of it, which is a known thing, I would say, around Zandvoort, but yeah, he still made that mistake. And then I luckily got, I got wing damage, needed to pit, and I was on a 3-stop from then on, or a 2-stop. Luckily, the safety car got me back into it. Both safety cars, actually. And then the second safety car, I don't know what it was, to be honest. I assume Jordi had a legal overtake or something and decided to brake check me on the straight. Which is, for me, a thing you can't really do. But yeah, stewards will decide on that. And after that, it was just... yeah, driving on my own, to be honest. That VSC helped me to pit for another time because the mediums won't take it until the end from the second safety car. Yeah, and then in the end I needed to drop off my pace because otherwise I wouldn't make it to the end on the old beanie tires I had from the previous stint.
Yeah, it's disappointing and very unfortunate to be involved in an incident like that on the opening lap, but that's done. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's just a shame. Still finishing the races though, and
the only thing you can say, is I have the worst luck, you know.
It's true. It's true. The next race, once again, I have forgotten. I was meant to check it before the stream. It won't take me long to do so don't worry. Alrighty, what is the next race? Belgium. That is a decent track. Do you think you can do well there, or do you like the circuit?
Yeah, just like Zandvoort, I think I can be strong with that, to be honest. I was very happy, for example, with my quali today and my starting position. I really thought I could fight Nifo and Singy today, but yeah, I think I can do the same as Spa, actually. I'm quite confident with my pace lately. Only have to get some luck again.
Yeah.
Or some luck which I never had.
On the up then, on the up. We'll keep optimistic once again. Thank you very much. And can you describe your race in 3 words?
No.
Fair enough. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Great effort today.
Thanks.
And we move on to Nifo-Jan. Nifo, it was so close in the end, but it didn't quite work out. Great pace though, very nice pole position.
Yeah, I mean, pole doesn't really matter if you don't win, but I mean, it was nice to have for a change, I guess. Yeah, I mean, the whole race I was just leading, controlling it, and then you pit, I think, in a more favorable position with the VSC just about ending. And then, someone on Old Hearts thinks it's a good idea to defend like his life depends on it. Because, that extra second which you will lose when I overtake him again is indeed very important. So, yeah, that was good. Just screwed me over. Then I was behind Zingy and, no way getting past. We are running practically the same wings. He might be running like 2 or 1 click slower, maybe. Every time I'm straight, like I come next to him and he just, all he has to do is just go a bit wide and there's nothing I can do. Just, it's legal. It's nothing. It's good racing from him. It's good defending. He deserves it, but it's nothing I can do. Yeah, so, and this, speechless really. It's just,
So do you think if that pit stop situation didn't occur, you maybe have a pretty likely win, potentially?
Yeah, it would have been ahead. It's easier to defend than to attack here. It's not easy to get past here, so
Yeah, I mean, you were very strong the entire race. You had a nice gap in the first stint, and then you were so close every single lap. Later on, it is a heck of a shame that it didn't go to plan. But still, Belgium, That's going to be an interesting one. It's very low downforce. Do you think you can get on top with that one?
I mean, every time I think I've won from Zingy, I've probably, because it was a circuit that I could overtake on the final few laps, which maybe Spa is, but honestly, I'm not feeling very confident on that circuit. It's not one of my strong circuits, so I reckon it will be a repeat of today.
Fair enough. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's a very difficult circuit, so lots of people could have issues, so never say never. But still, a very, very good effort. So strong today, but it didn't quite go your way. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
Can't get past.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Great effort today. And we move on to Zingy. Zingy, that is a race win in the bag. Well done today. That was a very well executed. You were there when it counted. You got it done. Very well done.
Yeah. I'm still a bit shaky still. He kept me on my toes for the whole race. He pulled out a DRS at one point. But not really much happened. Didn't look like there was a lot of safety cars, which made us save tyres, so we were able to pit around about lap 20, which is 2 laps over our pit window. So that's why our mediums we were much faster and so consistent. But yeah, unluckily for Niffle, he got held up by Dave Raptors, who maybe in hindsight for himself was defending a little bit too much. He could have just tagged along with Niffle. I think would have been the best idea for his race, but I mean, what can you do? Sometimes these things happen, and I did get lucky, granted, but my defending was also put up to the test, and I think I done just as well as defending, if not better than I have previously. So yeah, and that last as well, oh my days, I couldn't even put it into I couldn't summarise it for you. It was mental.
Yeah, it was a crazy race. Even though there wasn't too much of a taking, it was very intense between you two, so really well done. And maybe the overcut, which is usually the more disadvantaged strategy, was a bit of a blessing in disguise today. So yeah, really well done. On to Belgium. It's a circuit that has been a little bit difficult for you in the past. Do you think you can try and get on top of that and get redemption from last time around?
Oh god, yeah. Belgium's it's a tricky circuit, right? But school's ending in a few weeks, and then I've got a little bit of a holiday, so school's going to slow down a bit. So I think I can put a bit more practice in. So I think that maybe if I do put a bit of practice in, I should be fine to. I'd say win, but I think Niffle overall would be a little bit stronger at that track, so he's got more chance of winning than I do. But you always got to look out for those Mercedes as well. Those guys are rapid when they don't get taken out. Not an insult to Harsh, by the way. It's just an unlucky situation, I guess.
Yeah, it is very, very unfortunate, but still well played from you, and you were there when it counted, so really well deserved. One last question. How would you describe your race in 3 words?
I won't say that, don't worry. It's me, Niffle, clear.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Well done today. Great job. And that's been it for the post-race interviews. Thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure. We will see you tomorrow for the F1.5 EU Championship. We'll see you next weekend for the Belgian Grand Prix. Thank you very much once again, and good night.